everybody, it's me, Jermaine, and I'm back with another Simple Truth update. And today's update is going to be a review of that new movie that is out there that is called Son of God. Boy, oh boy, where do I start? Well, first and foremost, I want to share with those that are in the know, that are literate, that are, let me say this, they have some truth literacy, and they understand, and they also possess truth comprehension. I want it to be known, first and foremost, that I knew, considering the times we live in and those that are making the movies, I already knew that there were going to be some inaccuracies when it came to this movie. But it just blows my mind how people will go and see this movie that have no belief system, or if they do, they have about that much belief system, and they'll think that, oh, this is such a wonderful and beautiful movie. The movie, now, if you want to watch the movie, I would advise you to just cut off the video right now, because I'm going to give you some spoilers. Now, if you read the Bible, there's no way in earth, there's no way on earth that you could ever be, anything could be spoiled for you. But if you're one of those type of persons that, oh, if I hear anything about a movie, it's just going to just ruin it for me, you might as well just turn it off and go about your way and ignore this episode of The Simple Truth. So the movie begins, and there's this wonderful montage that begins the movie when it talks about Bereshit, Genesis, and it's talking about the, how, the Father created the earth, and it was without, form, and it was void, and, so forth and so on. If you know Bereshit, Genesis, you'll understand. And then, it shows the, beautiful landscapes, the beautiful, flocks of birds when he created the fowl, and it shows the, the different animals. And then when it comes to him creating man, he created man, and what this depiction shows is it shows a man rising up out of the earth. Now, first and foremost, the earth was this grayish, almost looks like ash. If you ever have done a barbecue, and when your coals go all the way to ash, imagine what that looks like. And then this is the type of earth that man rose up out of. Well, there's number one. There's going to be many of these, but then as we're going along, the narration is a person of, possible European descent, because you can hear the English or Scottish or Celtic influence in the accent while they are narrating the story. And then they get to the point of Noah, and it shows that, Noah's in the ark, and he has his family, and you hear all the animals, and as the waters, rage, you can hear the animals crying out. Now, that's pretty accurate to what the word says. But then when it gets to the point where it, the rain subside, and, the part of the story, if you're familiar with the word, where Noah went out and he, Noah sent out the birds. He sent out the raven, and then if I'm correct, if I'm incorrect on the bird, please don't beat me up. I'm trying to do this on the fly. But then he went when he sent out the dove. But the whole point of it is he comes out on this deck, and it looks like the deck of a cruise ship. just amazing. I mean, it's just utterly amazing what these people will do. But this is Holly weird, and they have to do it and make it, as they say, they have to do it and do it big. But then it gets to, it goes through all of these different things, and it skips a lot of things to lead up to the part where it would be Matthew or Matthew. And it gets to the point when it begins to talk about the story of Miriam, Mary, and Yosef, Joseph. Well, first of all, when you see Miriam, Mary, she's your typical young lady with all type of European features, almost extreme European features, like she's never been outside in the sun a day in her life, but yet the area that they live in is nothing but, warm and sunny all the time. Go figure. And then you have the young man that plays Joseph. He looks like some Harry Potter character. And on top of it, to match with that, he has an English accent. So, and then they're going through this thing where, the Roman soldiers are coming and they are violating the people as they are, as they're in worship or in prayer or in gathering. And while all of this commotion is going on, Miriam is running away, and as she's running away, she the angel of the Most High that comes to tell her what's going to happen. It's like this weird looking dude that this guy with blonde hair and blue eyes and his mustache and goatee, and he's looking real cryptic, like he's almost stalking her. And then he catches her almost like in this back alley, and then he tells her what's going to happen. It's almost like he was going, she was in fear that he was going to attack her. I'm telling you, boy, these people will look at this and they will really think that they found something. And then, so we continue on. Let me go back. When they showed the part in the garden, the snake, the typical snake comes slithering out. Well, the snake or the serpent did not slither until the Most High cursed him for what he had done in beguiling woman or Eve. So that was just another inaccuracy that I did not want to miss. And then we get to, so I was at the part where, Mary got her confirmation from the angel that she would have this child. And then they kind of fast forward, and, Joseph is trying to speak with Mary, and she's kind of trying to avoid him, and he wants to talk to her, and they pull off to the side, and he notices that she's pregnant or with child. And then, he's upset about it. And, and he's like, well, who have you been with? And so forth and so on. So we fast forward to the part where he meets the angel. Now, the Bible clearly says, the word clearly says that he had a dream, and that the angel of the Most High told him that the child that she was with was that of the Holy Spirit, came from the Holy Spirit. Now, I know we're going to have those that are out there that might view this that, there was no virgin birth. Okay. That's a story for another day. But, so we get to the point, and we have all of this lead up and this setup, and then, here's the other funny part. It's awful funny, these people looking like, let me say this, looking like a white speck on a black shirt, as far as when they go and they go to Egypt, and they go to, kind of hide from what Herod's going to do. Now my grandmother and I are watching this, and we're critiquing the heck out of it. And my grandmother says before it, even gets there, she said, you're going to have your token blacks in the movie. And she was absolutely right. The token blacks were, number one of the wise men that came to see Herod. Herod looking like this big, heavy-set European guy, and his sons, typical Europeans. And then the voiceover was done by, I don't know the guy's name, but he's the guy that everybody's familiar with. If you've ever seen the movie Dead Presidents, he was the older man that was a part of the heist in Dead Presidents. So he's the narrating voice after the flood. And I know I'm just rambling here, but I just have to share this with you to just show you how wicked this world is, and how even with the word right in front of them, they refuse to tell the truth. And people are slapping this up like a person that's eating biscuits and gravy. They're just lapping it up. And so, them going into Egypt, and once the baby is born, typical, the people of color are very small and smattered through these accounts. And then you have the other account of a person of color, distinct person of color, is the man that helped Yeshua, Jesus, carry his cross. And so, and let me share with you, Yeshua is this Brad Pitt lookalike type guy. And I have to give him credit. Most of the time they make, Jesus feminized and infeminine to the point of no end. In this account, he wasn't, for the most part. And I'm going to fast forward because I don't want to hold you too much longer. But then the thing that really got to me, besides all this other crap that they put out there, the inaccuracies, the different things, two last points I need to make, and I need to make clear. When he was brought, when Judas betrayed him, and he was brought before the the leaders, the elders of Jerusalem. It was awful funny how when they asked him if he was the Son of God, in this account, they had him be bold and like, yes, I am the Son of God. In other words, like, you don't know who you're messing with. That's laughable. But the last part that really just irked me the wrong way, and here is where they feminized our Mashiach, our Messiah, was when he was getting beat and battered. They had him crying out and being very, very weak in dealing with the punishment that they put forth upon him. And where that hurt me, and where that really messed with me as far as righteous indignation, was the fact that in the account of Isaiah, and even in the account of the apostles, it says that, he went as a lamb to the slaughter and uttered not a word. But they had him stumbling and bumbling like he was just some weak, emasculated man that just could not take that, what was coming upon him. And that, more than anything, just really discouraged me as far as how they see our King. But the simple truth of the whole matter is that if you truly believe in Yeshua HaMashiach, Jesus the Christ, and if you believe and you follow the Father's commands and statutes and laws, our Messiah is coming back. And when he does come back, he's not coming back as this effeminized, soft, almost woman-like man or male. He's coming back strong. Not saying he wasn't strong the first time, but that was not his calling to be coming back with strength. He was coming with a certain demeanor the first time, but the second time he's coming with vengeance. And vengeance is definitely his, and he will repay for all of the things that were done to his people. This has been The Simple Truth. And as I always tell you, it's the simple things that are oftentimes the most profound, but yet they're the most difficult to put into practice and to actually do. I want to thank you for joining me, and I know I'll be sure to see you, and you again on another episode real soon. Take care.